The way that I'm talked about by certain crack smokers on the internet, you think I couldn't appear anywhere publicly without someone trying to come and get shit addressed. We got Dallas Fan Expo next week, or 2 weeks, right? We got the meetup. I better be feeling some energy when I'm pulling up there, okay? I better be feeling some energy. If not, we all know that y'all fronting for an audience on the internet. Because the fact that people ain't pulling up, I don't understand that. I'm giving y'all where I'm at, not hiding behind a fucking microphone and a camera. Like, I'm giving you where I'm at. Let's hash it out. Let's talk about it. Let's be men. Let's do confrontation.
Many months later.
Hi, chat. Brandon's trying to bounce me. He already threatened to beat me up in front of the guy running the door for offering to give out their comic books. He knows they're so bad that giving them out tonight would ruin the event.
You may know by now that a crazed man was arrested outside of a recent Rippaverse meetup.
Tonight on Sifting Through the Trash with your host, JJ Trujillo. Self-described anarcho-capitalist and comic book publisher Eric July hosted a meetup at the Boozy Bird just outside of Dallas. Eric planned the event to meet his fans and also sell merchandise. However, fans weren't the only ones who attended. His biggest detractor, Riley Mix, aka Young Clippa, went as well, though Riley was unable to stay the entire time. Days after the arrest, Eric July weighed in, saying that he wasn't responsible for thrusting the weight of the state on his rival.
He was told by the venue to leave and stay off the property. The venue instructed him to leave and he refused. So his conflict with the police was created out of his own actions, and the cop explicitly states why he was called.
The reason why I'm here is because the owner here apparently asked you guys to leave.
Claiming the arrest was solely the fault of Riley and the owner of the Boozy Bird, who contacted the police. Eric also made a series of allegations about Riley, arguing in favor of the arrest. The first allegation, that Riley went to Eric's place of business and left something and threatened to do more.
And still, I didn't think that they would do something this insane. This person drove all the way to Texas, to our business location, which has several employees working there, of course. They would drive near the front of the building and then turn around during the day, and then they came back at night, stuck things on the window, and took it to social media, telling everybody that they do more.
The second allegation is that Riley threatened Eric repeatedly.
And since then, this person has continued to levy threats on the internet.
The third is that Riley doxed Eric's house.
Doxed my house.
The fourth, that Riley peed on Eric's ancestor's grave.
And bragged about going to my ancestor's grave to deface it.
5, that Riley infringed on Eric's trademark.
That hat logo that you all see is the Rippaverse's logo. It's ours. This person attempted to, and still does, try to sell that online. It is not a parody, as we're not talking about the text. We are talking about the actual hat logo.
And 6, that Riley used the state against Eric.
I'm not risking my business, my life, or the lives of those around me, especially not for those that have already applauded efforts to have the state weaponized against me in hopes to ruin my business.
We will analyze each of these claims one by one. First, let's take a look at Eric's meetup and how it led to Riley's arrest. Riley went to Eric's meetup to hand out free copies of Eric's comic Isom. He also asked the fans trivia to gauge their interest in the comic. While this may seem harmless to some, Riley's actions were not well received. One of Riley's first interactions involved Brandon, an employee of Eric's who tells Riley he needs to bounce.
You guys all Isom fans? Brandon! You want an Isom? What's your favorite part of Isom?
Oh,
Brandon is bouncing me, chat.
Oh my!
From this public parking lot. Go ahead and message the girls if you want to give them shots. I'm in a public parking lot.
You got a bounce ball.
Bounce me. I'm giving out Isoms. I'm just walking by. If you hit me, that would be bad for me. That's insane. She has some friends here she wants to talk to. She's messaging them and giving them some candy.
Yep.
It's fine. You'll just have to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother you.
You just have to stand off the sidewalk because it's private.
Well, give me a place to stand specifically.
You can stand right here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm not trying to mess with your event. I'm trying to get out copies of your comic books.
No, you're fine. You just have to
That
stand
was
off.
a weirdly aggressive approach, wasn't it? He just said he was going to beat me up. He said it and it's on camera, so that's a big move for that little guy.
Riley also says that Brandon threatened to beat him up, though that isn't audible in the live stream. Brandon isn't the only one annoyed by Riley's presence. When Riley told an employee of the establishment that Brandon wanted to beat him up, he shook his head and seemed a little annoyed. The employee also told Riley not to enter the bar's private property and to stay on the public access way. A little later, Alex Stein appears, seemingly energizing Riley.
Alex! Prime time, Alex!
Oh shit!
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you guys.
Cheers, dude.
Wow.
Do you want to play what's your favorite part of Isom, or I give you a deluxe Isom comic if you answer your favorite part?
Yes.
All right. We're here with Alex Stein playing a round of What's Your Favorite Part of Isom, everybody's favorite Dallas comic book. I have copies here, and you will win one of your choice if you tell me what your favorite part is.
My favorite part is there's a part where there's a truck that looks like an F-250, and I love Ford trucks, so...
That's the best answer yet.
Yes.
Which Isom do you want? I have Isom 1. I have 3 copies of Isom 1 in different covers.
Which one is the most exclusive Isom?
Actually, how about this, bud? This one, Isom 2, has the most of the truck in it.
Oh, it does?
There's
Okay,
more
then I'll
truck
take
in
the
that
truck.
than
Okay,
any comic book in the
let's
world.
go!
Awesome, man.
Let's go. I got my official copy.
Yes, you guys
Okay.
enjoy the
Well,
event.
nice to meet you guys.
I'm
Nice
hanging
to
out
meet you.
here.
Okay, we'll come
Brandon's
see
bouncing me as we speak. I'm being bounced.
Alex Stein is known for making surprise appearances to troll politicians and internet rivals.
AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. I love you, AOC. You're my favorite. She wants to kill babies, but she's still beautiful. You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
I want to do a little selfie.
I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC.
It seems Riley may look up to Alex and possibly drew some inspiration from him. Understanding Alex will illuminate the events that transpired this day, though that will not be elaborated until the next episode. Young Alex Stein, father of the detractors. Alex has been a key figure in Eric's story. He is also solely responsible for the debacle that led to Eric being branded a chicken, and creating the symbol of Eric's opponents. This is explained in a previous episode, which came first, the chicken or the egg. Today we will focus on Riley and the events leading up to his arrest, as well as Eric's 6 allegations. Let's return to Alex's conversation with Riley. Here Riley asks Alex which copy of Isom he'd like, and Alex says he'll take the one with the truck in it, possibly referencing controversy where the artist was importing large quantities of 3D assets like this truck, rather than drawing them himself.
All right, let's take a look at this beautiful page of artwork here. Created by somebody who, wanted to make a comic book but wanted to use 3D assets. You don't need talent when you have 3D assets. All right, so here it is. This is a page. Here's the truck. It says, the sun was coming up by the time I got home. Now, here's the truck, the 3D asset truck, and here's the house. I was exhausted. That's not Isom. That's Eric July. What the hell?
Alex later met Mint, saying he can't look at her Twitter feed because of salacious posts. He asks if she's the one who beat up Ethan Ralph, and she confirms it, and Alex encourages her to continue doing good work.
You're the one that beat up Ethan, right?
Yeah, I am the one who beat up Ethan Ralph. I got him 12 times in the face.
You kicked his
I
ass.
counted it.
Well,
So,
keep up the good work.
yeah.
Then the pair continue to speak to customers and record the meetup from afar. The next significant event comes when police arrive at the scene. We will follow Officer Johnson, who would later arrest Riley. Before this officer approached Riley, he spoke to a restaurant employee. Officer Johnson informs him that if the owner would like to ask Riley and Mint to leave, then they would be given a verbal warning to stay off their private property, and would be given a criminal trespass if they violated it. Sean, the owner, later comes outside and gives the officers permission to give Riley a warning. He also divulges key information.
Nice to meet you guys.
So we just need your permission.
Sean. Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
We just need your permission to come and trespass them, pretty much.
So we went and talked to them. I told them to stay off my area, which goes all the way to the corner line where CC's is.
Okay.
And they're like giving me the bullshit of, this is public sidewalk, blah, 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 all that shit. And so got their phones out, filming, screaming, doing all kinds of crazy shit. So we just kind of left it alone at that point.
The guy, James Royal, it's a belief that apparently there's a warrant out for his arrest in Plano. So the detective from Plano was told, why you didn't.
This is the important part. The owner knew that Eric had pressed charges against Riley for internet harassment. How did he obtain that information? Did Eric tell him directly? Or was it Brandon? Or perhaps a separate employee? Eric would later claim that the conflict with the police was created out of Riley's actions, and that's why the police were called. And while it seems the bar owner asked the police to come, That had nothing to do with Riley's arrest. In fact, the officers explained that Riley wasn't doing anything illegal at all.
Yeah, so which it's fine. You're not breaking any laws by recording.
Nope.
But what they do want to do is criminally trespass you from their location. Okay.
Where's the location end?
This business right here.
Right, but like, what's the line?
Up into the CCs.
Where? Sorry.
Up into here. Yeah.
Well, we've been right here for most of it, so that's fine.
Well,
for
we
us.
got witnesses saying that you were.
No,
on their
yeah, we were over here
and stuff. So that's I'm just going to criminally trespass. You guys are not going to jail, but I do have to issue that criminal trespass. Okay?
So is this a violation of that criminal trespass being right here?
No. So once I issue it, which means you cannot get on their property ever again. If you do, you'll be arrested.
We now know that he was arrested because of an outstanding warrant,
which was filed because of complaints made by Eric. You may be wondering exactly why Riley was being arrested to begin with. Did he trespass onto Eric's property? Riley's warrant clearly states his offense, that he was using electronic communication to harass, annoy, bully, alarm, or embarrass Eric July. In other words, he was cyberbullying him. We will now go to Eric's first allegation, that Riley went to his warehouse at night, stuck things on the window, and promised to do more. Let me play this clip of when Riley went to Eric's warehouse.
All right, Eric, ignore those super chats, you son of a bitch. Eric keeps ignoring my super chats, so I brought him $50. I also vandalized his building with these stickers. We'll see what he has to say about that.
Riley did in fact stick things to Eric's window, though Eric forgot to mention a key detail. The things he stuck was money, and he did it on glass with a sticker, meaning it would cause no damage to the warehouse. Though Riley, in an act of hyperbolic showmanship, described himself as vandalizing the warehouse. Many weren't so happy with Riley's antics, including Eric July, who tried telling Nick Rekieta that Riley could be shot for doing this.
Fans have posted some fantasies about using self-defense against Riley, and we're talking about using lethal force in self-defense. Anyone who thinks that that's a real thing is deluding themselves in this scenario.
I see that, that being your sort of position, and that it's always been the case, or you feel like that's generally the case, of to justify putting a hole or attempting to put a hole in someone. Our guys don't see it that way, and I've seen people get aired out for a lot less.
Eric's allegation omitted the key detail that Riley was giving him money. Eric's second allegation was that Riley threatened him repeatedly. Aside from threatening to leave more money at Ripa's warehouse, he also threatened to pin him down and shave his shoulder hairs. Some argue that jokes like this are out of line, but some comedians think this isn't far enough. Sam Hyde once called out Hassan Piker, saying the following.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that, Hassan Piker! I'm coming to kill you! In Los Angeles, at your house!
Or in the ring?
No, in real life. I'm going to stalk him and become obsessed with him, and wear his makeup, and his dresses, and use his skin as a coat, like the ancient Irish did.
Well, that's your winner, Sam Hyde!
The following allegations were a little harder to fact-check, as Riley's Twitter was nuked and there is no longer a paper trail. Because Eric July blocked me on Twitter, I was unable to contact him and ask questions. Riley wasn't willing to comment on the subject. However, his girlfriend Mint was cooperative. With that in mind, let's go to Eric's next allegation. Eric says Riley doxed him. This claim is impossible to verify one way or the other, as Riley's account is now deleted, and the only photo of the tweet is censored, preventing us from verifying whether or not Eric July was actually doxed. I asked Mint, Riley's girlfriend, if he doxed Ripa. She said that they didn't, and that the photo was of his Zillow listing. I asked if the address was visible in the photo, and she said it wasn't. While many would argue this isn't classified as a dox, the photo could have been used in an image search to help someone find Eric's house. When Eric first announced his legal issues with the Isom ministry, he said that the superhero was named after his ancestor Isom Knox, which means it wasn't infringing on the ministry's trademark. A separate YouTuber, Moronic Opinions, went to Isom's grave, leaving stuffed animals and a link to a donation page which would be used to help keep the gravesite clean. Moronic Opinions gloated that he beat Riley to the grave. Later on, a fan of Eric's got in a Twitter spat with Moronic Opinions, and Riley posted this. Some claim that this is proof Riley went to Isom's grave and peed on it, forgetting that Riley also claimed it was vandalism that he stuck money on Eric's warehouse window. Eric also said that Riley documented his every move.
Thankfully for us, this man documents most of what he does through social media posts, streaming, and recording himself.
And yet Riley has no pictures of himself at Isom's grave. The fifth claim is that Riley infringes on Eric's trademark by selling merchandise like this. Riley argues that this is a parody as his design has altered text into clippers. Ripa says that the hat with lightning bolts is unaltered, and hence isn't a parody but an infringement. Parody protections are quite extensive in the United States, and many parody logos will maintain a symbol of the company that they are parodying only to alter the text. Ironically, this brings us to Eric July's last point, that Riley was using the state against him. This is in reference to an email made by someone called Obtuse Gnome, who contacted the Isom ministry to ask if they were affiliated with Eric's Isom comic. This was used by the ministry as evidence that there was trademark confusion, and they wanted to settle with Eric to get him to stop using the name or possibly make stipulations for its continued use. It is uncertain if Riley was the one who contacted the ministry, but ultimately it was the ministry who was responsible for any pending litigation, not whoever sent them the email. While Eric may now blame Riley for contacting the ministry, he used to claim it was Dick and Vito who were responsible, only to walk that back a little bit later with Dick Ricada.
What we have right now is a textbook example of gay ops. But a fat person by the name of Vito really ramped up his public hatred of me at the launch of the Rippaverse last year. Since then, very frequently, this person has made a point to speak negatively about me and this company. Parties have shown that they have no problem either using the state against us themselves or running op campaigns to maybe push someone else to do it for them. This whole thing was initiated due to trolling. Had they done their diligence, they would know they were relying on false reports to initiate this very conflict. This is what I mean by gay ops, right? This person, the same dude, is trying to instigate a third party, to do something and like suing us and all that and trying to kind of instigate and encourage. So when you are trying to actively, and you've admitted it multiple times, destroy people's pocket, and not by some like shame. This is well beyond it. Now we're talking about lawfare, bro.
A few moments later.
Did you accuse him of starting that lawsuit?
No.
Prior to him tweeting that?
No.
No?
No.
You didn't say that he and Vito were behind that?
No. I wouldn't be so foolish as to do that.
But now it seems he decided to pin the blame on Riley. Interestingly, Eric may now have restrictions on the use of the name Isom. His website now has a disclaimer stating there is no affiliation between him and the ministry, and he recently released a statue of his flagship character, only he wasn't referred to as Isom. Now he is called Young Isom, providing a means of differentiation between the two brands, indicating that he may no longer be able to refer to the character as Isom, or that perhaps there are some restrictions or a licensing fee if he were to use it. Now looking at Eric's claims, we can see that they often omit key details. And while Eric paints Riley's arrest as unrelated to him, it solely hinges on Eric's complaints of cyberbullying. As crazy as Riley and Eric's saga may sound, it has recently taken a very strange turn, as Riley made a new announcement.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Clippiverse channel. It is I, your king, young Clipper, the king of the Clippiverse. Min Sal and I are going to be in Dallas, Fort Worth this November 14th for a very special court date and dinner date with you afterwards if I don't go to jail.
If Riley wins, he will return to the bar where he was arrested, and if he loses, he will get locked up. Who do you think will win this legal battle? And who do you think is in the right? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.